Tropicana Field, with its roof torn apart, that image became one of the lasting symbols of Hurricane Milton's wrath. And like so many across the Bay Area, the Rays were left picking up the pieces. On this episode of Rays All Access, we take you inside the club's race to find a new home and how a familiar spring training site was flipped into a Major League ready ballpark.
It's been a journey. You know, those early days after the storm, I think many of us thought it was improbable that we'd be here kind of on the cusp, on the eve of playing regular season baseball here in Tampa Bay in 2025. And yet through the hard work of so many, through our partnership with the Yankees, through the support of our corporate partners, we're really grateful to have opening week here in Tampa Bay for 2025.
We'll show you how George M. Steinbrenner Field was reimagined to feel like home for both the Rays and their fans.
Hopefully it's a one-time thing that you're going to see from us. It's going to feel exclusive. It's a super intimate ballpark. It allows us to do so many new things that we haven't done before. And so really excited for the fans to get in here and see it. And, I think it's going to be a really special season.
And a behind-the-scenes peek at the facility's facelift. Spaces only the coaches, players, and Rays personnel get to see. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Rays All Access. I'm Ryan Bass. By now, many of you have been here to George M. Steinbrenner Field to catch a Rays home game in their new digs, or you've watched one of our games on FanDuel Sports Network. One thing is clear, though. Steinbrenner Field no longer looks like the Yankee spring training complex. In fact, it's been transformed to feel and look like the Rays' new home. In 120 hours, this ballpark got flipped in time for opening day. But the real work, that began last fall.
When Hurricane Milton came through, of course, on the heels of Hurricane Helene, delivered a 1-2 punch, not just to our organization, but really the entire region here. So many are still reeling from that. We're well aware of that, but organizationally, we were really punched in the nose, and a tremendous amount of work has gone into, in the days after those storms, planning to relocate our offices and find a new home for our staff to even be able to work and take on a project like this was a critical first step through identifying Steinbrenner Field as ultimately, the best suited place for us to be in Tampa Bay playing regular season baseball. We've had some experience with this, right? We've had disruptions in the past. Our spring training operations moved to Orlando because of Hurricane Ian just a few years ago. So while this is maybe a different scale and a different timeline that we were operating under, we really, I think, have some experience dealing with this. We've got a great, just tremendous staff that has really pulled together. Can't say enough how proud I am, we all are, of our entire organization for really pulling together and making this happen. And we kind of deal with things as they come. We learn new things every day and kind of take it as we come and make decisions seemingly on a day-to-day basis about what we need to do next. It's been an all hands on deck kind of collective effort, top to bottom, left to right throughout the organization. Some of the first things we had to really understand were really two areas. One, from a player standpoint, of course. How do we accommodate the players? How do we make sure that the facilities, not just on the home clubhouse side, but on the visiting team side as well, are up to Major League standards? And there was quite a bit of work that had to be done to ensure that those spaces, met those standards. Very fortunate, of course, that the Yankees invested so much in the home clubhouse this offseason to really make it a spectacular place for our players to enjoy this season. And then also just from a ticketing and fan experience standpoint, we had already renewed all of our season ticket holders back in August and September. So immediately kind of pivoting to what are we selling? What is this product? Are there kind of apples to apples ways to bring our season ticket base, which is really the lifeblood of our organization, over into this new building? And so we went through a pretty painstaking process to, looking at these dots on a map and work with our season ticket holders really on a one-on-one basis to convert their accounts over to accounts here at Steinbrenner Field. So that was an enormous undertaking. We have over 3,000 pieces of content and art that are being installed here during the transition. And that is a tremendous amount to keep track of. Where it is, where it gets stored, and how it gets installed. There's also really a tremendous amount that belongs to the Yankees that we need to be stewards of and keep track of and make sure that that gets stored properly so that when time comes to hand the keys back over to the Yankees, we do right by them and make sure that we put this place back together, hopefully even better than we found it. I think it's required just a level of flexibility, mental flexibility and agility from all of our staff, right? These are not ideal circumstances. Everyone to some extent is making the best of the situation, and that includes the Yankees as well, by the way. We're obviously rivals on the field, but I think we've shown how two organizations that may be rivals can really collaborate and share a common goal off the field, and that's certainly the case here. The Yankees organization has deep roots here in the Tampa community. Specifically, they understand how the storms impacted this region and really what we were going through, the way that they reached out and really offered an olive branch to us to give us a home for the 2025 season. They've been tremendous partners, very magnanimous throughout this process. And again, I think really understand what we've been going through. They saw the value in keeping regular season baseball here in the Tampa Bay community in 2025, and we're very grateful for that. Opening day was originally scheduled for Thursday. Just that extra day, it gave us 25% more time. So it only seems like a day, but it's actually quite a bit more time. It gave us a little bit more comfort that we could pull this off and really execute this in a great way for our fans. So starting Sunday, after that final spring training game here, we had a line of dozens of volunteers from our front office lined up at the gate, ready to come in. They immediately grabbed buckets of warm water and sponges and worked their way around the entire outfield and infield wall, washing and prepping the wall for the installation of signs starting this morning, just to make sure that we have a clean surface to adhere those to.
Up next, with opening day just hours away, the hustle to reshape Steinbrenner Field is just getting started. It's day one of this massive makeover, and you can already see the vision. The Rays are doing everything they can to make Steinbrenner Field feel just like home. If there's anybody in this ballpark that's had a hand in every little intricate detail of what you're seeing here at Steinbrenner Field, it is this guy, Warren Heipes, the Vice President of Creative and Branding here for the Rays. Warren, thank you so much for spending some time with me, buddy.
You got it, buddy.
It's kind of cool to see this all come to fruition. When you got word that we were going to be moving into George Steinbrenner Field here as our temporary home for 2025, when did the planning and execution of all of this we see behind us start?
I mean, it started from the second we heard where the site was going to be, right? Look, we've been through this before. We played a spring training in Orlando. We had to redo our whole complex in Port Charlotte when that got hurricane damage. So we've done this on a smaller scale. So we had a little bit of a plan in place. Obviously, this is a lot bigger project than that. But, from the second that we got word, we were over here that same week, had our first walk through the stadium. You know, the Yankees have been very, very gracious to us. They had a lot of sizes for signage, but for what they didn't, we're around here for about 2 to 3 times a week, measuring everything we can, trying to take account of all the signs. And you know, from that point, we've got 5 different signage vendors we're working with, 50 installers. We've had so many employee volunteers out for the week. So it's over 3,000 signs in this place. And you know, we've done the best we can in the 4 days we have to make this feel like a Rays ballpark.
It stretches a mile wide in terms of those 3,000 marketing assets that have been installed since you were able to get in here on Sunday to when we get to opening day, 120 hours plus. How much, like minute by minute, and every single detail was kind of planned out by you and your team to make sure it was fully executed?
Yeah, look, I mean, we had a plan going into this, right? We'd broken up the signage into all the different signage vendors, kind of decided who was going to handle what. But, you know, as you know, things are fluid. There's weather. Maybe something doesn't work out the way you want it to. So it's been fluid the whole time. We've been pretty ahead of schedule on the large scale signage, which has been really good. And so really happy with where we're at. You know, I think every opening day is special. It's a holiday for anybody who loves baseball, but I think this one's going to be a little more special.
I think Ryan Pepio called it Christmas for baseball, basically, is how it feels for opening day. And I'm sure you'll be relieved when we get to this point. But when you think specifically in terms of creative and all the small details, whether it be sewing the burst into the seats in the clubhouse or all the little intricate signs, when you talk about detail, how much did you want to lean into the outdoor feel this year for Rays baseball? Because it's clear in all the different marketing assets how much you guys are leaning into that.
It is. I mean, look, we get to show the game in a whole new light to our fans this year. We want to celebrate that with our entire campaign this year. So as you look around the ballpark, you'll see a lot of hand-drawn, created doodles, celebrating a lot of outdoor clouds, sunshine, pelicans, some things representing the city of Tampa. It's something that we thought about, and again, you're getting to see the game through a whole new light here. We're very excited about it. We've got fireworks going on some of the night games. It allows us to do a lot of things that we haven't been able to do before, and so it's been really exciting. It's been a challenge, but it's something that we've embraced, and it's been very exciting.
One of the things that I think is pretty cool and a nod to our division rivals that are allowing us to use this ballpark is the thank you Yankees that you'll see basically facing Dale Mabry there on the back of the scoreboard. How important was it to give a nod to them for allowing us to kind of make this our temporary?
No, look. From our standpoint, we thought that was huge. We're happy to have a home. We can't thank them enough for what they've allowed us to do here and having a home away from home this year, and thought it was really important to have that as a piece of signage in the building.
Is there anything that you're particularly most proud of with what your team has done in making this ballpark ours?
Yeah, look, I think there's a few things. I think the raised letters that you can see up on the first and third base lines are something that gets talked about the most. Each one is 26 feet wide by 10 feet high. There's 14 panels in total. So I think that's what gets the attention. For me, there's the Yankees logo that's in our home clubhouse. And you know, it's so important to make it feel like home for our players. So when they walk in for the first time, I wanted them to be impressed, them to feel like they're at home, because if they're at home, they play well. So that was a challenge. We went through about 10 different designs for how we were going to do that. Ended up building a big custom aluminum frame that got wrapped, and we were able to put that up around the Yankees logo. And so for me, maybe that's probably what I'm most proud of. It was the one that was stressing me out maybe a little more than some of the other things that we had a plan for, because it's something we've never really had to deal with before.
How many logos did you actually have to either cover up or switch out from Yankees to Rays in this ballpark? Is there a number you had in your mind?
Yeah, there's 3,000 total pieces of signage in here. And so, you know, again, I talked about the employee volunteers we've had. Around stickering, like even corporate partner logos, because the partner piece of this is huge too, right? All of our partners stuck with us through this time. It was so important to make sure they're represented well and they're happy. So, I mean, even on the cups where you'll be sitting, you'll see the Orlando Health stickers there. You know, I think overall with this thing, is this a situation we want to be in? No, but what's been really special to me is to see everybody at every level of the organization rally around this. You know, everybody from the plumbing staff to the IT staff, signage, everything on every level. Everybody's put so much into this, and so even though it's a situation we're making the best of, that's what's really been special to me, is just to see how everybody rallied around this.
And it's been so much fun to see the work that you and your crew has put in here. How unique and fun was it to plan for outdoor baseball this year for the first time in franchise history, with what you guys wanted to do in remaking this ballpark your home, but also from a marketing and branding aspect?
Yeah, that's huge, man. Look, I think it's a great opportunity. This hopefully is a one-time thing that you're going to see from us. It's going to feel exclusive. It's a super intimate ballpark. It allows us to do so many new things that we haven't done before, and so really excited for the fans to get in here and see it. And I think it's going to be a really special season.
What do you want overall message to the fans, to those loyal Rays baseball fans that are going to come here and get a chance to really enjoy Rays baseball this year outdoors in Tampa for the first time? What do you want them to know about what you, your team, and everybody has accomplished to make this our home?
I think, look, everybody from the top to the bottom of this organization cares so much about this. That's why we put so much passion and energy into making this try to feel like a home ballpark. So when you walk in the stadium, there are a couple of Yankee logos here and there that we left alone, but we want you to walk in and feel like this is a Rays game. That's, I think, the most important thing to me.
Well, I'll tell you what, fans that'll walk in here, you'll get an opportunity to see the hard work that Warren and his team have put in. It feels like home. It's been rebranded beautifully, and I know there's been a lot of sleepless nights by you and your team trying to get this thing together, but so grateful for all the work you guys have done, and congratulations on this makeover.
Yeah,
That's
thanks
awesome.
so much. We're working through it, and we're really excited to hopefully get back to Tropicana Field next year, but for now, we're really going to enjoy where we're at.
Warren Hypes, ladies and gentlemen, the architect of everything you see here in terms of branding for the Rays and making this ballpark our home. Still ahead, we take you inside the clubhouse, where the Rays have flipped the feel of the Bronx into the Bay.
Tuesday, we get to move into the clubhouse and have the players really experience that for the first time.
They had a great space to start with, but what makes the new clubhouse pop? It's the attention to detail that takes this from nice to next level. Welcome home, here inside the Rays clubhouse with the director of equipment and head clubhouse manager here with Tyler Wall. Tyler, thank you for spending a few moments with me, buddy.
Yeah.
Home sweet home, it looks beautiful in here.
Yeah, man, it looks great. We're here. We finally made it.
It's so crazy just to kind of see it all come to fruition. I wanted to start, everybody remembers Hurricane Milton and coming through and the visuals of the roof of the Trop really ripping off in real time. Where were you and what was going through your mind when you were watching that?
Yeah, that's a tough one, man. We my family and I had evacuated to the East Coast, right? And I remember specifically, I was getting ready to put my son down to sleep. I was laying there with him, and my wife texted me a picture of the roof blowing in the wind. And at first I was like, man, like, it just kind of hit me. The first thing that came over me was like sadness, honestly. So after that, we woke up and the roof was gone. So it was just sort of a mind blower to see that. Obviously, your mind goes everywhere. Yeah. But it was at that point that we kind of knew, like, oh man, we got some work to do. So.
And the work only started from that point when you got word that George Steinbrenner Field was going to be your home, right? Your home base, where you and your crew here with clubhouse and equipment we're going to have to set up. What was going through your mind? Were you already kind of game planning? How is this going to work?
A little bit, right? I was hoping for this place because we heard about the renovation was going on. And honestly, working with the Yankees is awesome. I mean, my counterparts over there are great. They're so easy to work with top to bottom. It's been such a blessing to be here. So yeah, when we heard this place, we all got a little excited.
When you had an opportunity to start the process, right? And I know we've talked about this 120-hour turnover to make Steinbrenner Field into the Rays' home. You mentioned the 7 truckloads of equipment, Port Charlotte to Tropicana Field. What has that process been like from green light to where we are now?
Yeah, it's been, a lot of planning to say the least, right? You sort of figure out where you're going, and then you sort of, the overwhelmingness of it, we didn't let get to us, right? So we knew that we had to set this up, but also, hey, we also got to worry about the Trop, all the stuff that's at the Trop. And then we had to do a whole spring training in between now and then. So it was a challenge, but we came together with a plan and we executed it. We're in pretty good shape now. It doesn't look like it, but it was hectic here about 24 hours ago. I can't brag on my guys enough. These guys have been grinding their butts off. So that's a massive part of it.
As we walk through this clubhouse and for perspective of what folks may know of Tropicana Field and the clubhouse there, this is immaculate, huge, right? It's maybe double the size, you would say?
I would say probably double the size, yeah. It's a lot of coverage, a lot of space to cover.
There's a lot of space to cover. I mean,
Yeah.
you start with, there's no more NY logo here.
Yeah,
You've got
Warren
the
and his crew
sunburst.
crushed that, didn't
Yeah,
they?
they did a
Looks
great job.
right?
I mean, to be able to take this and what felt like a Yankees complex and a Yankees home and to remodel into this,
Yeah.
I mean, how do you put into perspective how this all came together?
A lot of, you know what it was? There was a lot of hard work, a lot of planning, and the entire organization was in on it, right? So I was sitting at lunch yesterday, and I'm in the room with everybody, and I'm seeing all other departments eating, and I'm just kind of thinking to myself, like, all this is coming together with everybody working in cohesion. It's amazing, right? So we're about there. Friday's the day, so we're close.
Tyler, what I love is, I mean, you get a sense when you come in here, the technology is top notch.
Yeah, for
Every
sure.
single individual locker, you can see just how much amenities-wise these guys get.
Yeah. I mean, it's quite the locker, right? When we were, one of the first things I noticed when I came here, I'm like, this is different than anything I've ever seen. So, and I've already seen, I just looked over, I saw one of the guys making sure he got his, he's getting ready to put it on his Insta. It's pretty neat, right? There's a lot of action in here. You got enough room for shoes, you got some cubbies, you got an area for your bats.
Oh,
Pretty
that's
neat.
cool. That's
yeah,
sick.
So you can fit 6 bats here if you want. Never have I seen that, so it's pretty neat. The Yankees put a lot of thought into this locker, and it shows, right?
That's sweet.
Yeah,
That's
pretty neat.
sweet. Just in terms of this clubhouse in general, you mentioned, sound, and I know the Trop and the clubhouse there, the sound was immaculate.
Mm-hmm.
What are some of the intricate details you've noticed being in this clubhouse that maybe are different than these guys are used to seeing?
Yeah, I mean, it goes beyond obviously the locker room. The locker room's great, but you got to think. I mean, the gym is amazing. You got a great cafeteria. There's a players' lounge where we're gonna hook up PlayStations, Nintendos. They've got an arcade game in there, and then the training room is like a freaking spa, dude. I mean, there is a hot tub, a cold tub. I mean, that we've seen that, but wait till you see it. It's great.
You mentioned all that. Why don't we go take a tour of it right now?
Let's do it.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Tyler, one of the things I've noticed as we walk in here, spacious, of course, but this is the dining area and the player lounge you talked about, and
Yeah.
I mean, this is kind of where all the pregame grub is going to be had and the fun prior to.
Right? I mean, it's like a 180 from what we're used to at the Trop, right? We got natural light coming in. The kitchen's unbelievable. You see our kitchen staff back there hard at work. They're grinding away, getting ready for these meals. It's quite amazing, honestly. It's hard to articulate like how much different this is from what we're used to.
And you see, some of the amenities that we have. I take you inside, kind of what you talked about in
Yeah.
the player lounge, and you mentioned some of the cool areas of games and being able to kind of let loose. I mean, when you look at just kind of the intricate details of, hey, you want
Right.
to get a game of ping pong going, or I heard some
Yeah.
of the PS5 and the
Yeah.
Xbox is going to be hooked up
We're
over
gonna
here.
throw the PS5, Xbox, the Nintendo DS. My son is gonna love this room. I tell you what. And I'm worried that the players are never gonna leave. So, again, another plus that we didn't have at the Trop. Again, Yankees did it top notch. Unbelievable. Can't get enough credit to them.
In terms of nutrition and fun and entertainment, right?
Yeah.
Letting loose before the game,
Sure.
trying to at least stay a little bit loose. Think about how important this room is going to be to the players, right?
Oh,
This
yeah.
will kind of be an area they spend a lot of time in.
You want to make them feel like they're at home, right? And something like this makes them feel relaxed. Like, let's be honest, all these guys have PS5s, right? So giving them those amenities to be here, to be able to chill out and whatnot, get ready for the game, and then walk right over here and grab a nutritious meal, can't beat it, right?
I'll tell you what, the MLB The Show showdowns in this room, it's going to be second to none, I guarantee you that. Let's keep going. Let's go check out the weight room.
All right, let's do it.
We'll hear more from Tyler when we come back and get first impressions from the guys who are going to be living in this space all season long. The players and skipper Kevin Cash.
Amazing job, and thankful for everybody that has contributed. I mean, even that turn right there on Del Mabry to see Shane and Taj, those pictures, it's pretty spectacular.
One of the things I think is really sweet about this venue too is just the mass amount of training, doctors' rooms, the whirlpool. Tyler, this is, I
Yeah.
mean, when you look at player, I mean, it's down to the way of the TVs being in pool
Yeah.
level for these guys when they're in here. It's pretty sweet to see kind of
Yeah.
their performance. And when it comes to health and wellness, this is second to none.
For sure. I mean, talk about every little detail. They thought about it. I mean, These guys are gonna be sitting in the cold tub, watching the late games on the West Coast or whatever it is, and they didn't miss a thing. Like, it's great. There's enough training tables, enough training space, there's doctor's offices, our massage therapists have their own spots. I mean, everything was thought about here. It's unbelievable.
When you look at from a player performance wellness standpoint, what amenities like this can do for them as you're interacting with these guys, how much can this kind of even help guys get mentally ready to perform at their best?
For sure. I mean, giving them everything they need to recover, right, is probably the ultimate part of it, okay? Like, you see the natural light comes from all the way down in the lounge, all the way to here, and you don't even see it in the weight room on the next part. It's unbelievable.
You talked about the training room. Let's go check out that weight room. I think Yandy Diaz has been in there since you guys moved in, so let's go.
Yeah, he lives in there. He lives in there.
Tyler, one of the things you talked about, natural light, right? I mean, you see even into the weight room and the workout room here, you've got a lot of that natural light, but this gym facility, I saw Yandy Diaz earlier. He's been here, I think, for 4 or 5 hours getting acquainted.
Yeah, this
is top notch, man.
Yeah, amazing, right? It gives them everything they need and then some. I think our strength and conditioning department has done an unbelievable job setting this up because thinking back to what we came from, it doesn't even compare. Again, the Yankees did a great job. There's even an outside area people can do sprints, warm up. If you wanted to just like lay in the sun and sunbathe, get it right there.
You know what I think the cool details are in terms of not just your team, but creative and what everybody's done, down to the intricate details of the TVs here on the training tables.
Yeah.
Like every little thing was thought of, Tyler.
Shout out to Warren and his crew. They have been crushing it. Again, like I mentioned earlier, it's a culmination of everybody working together. Warren and his crew came through here during spring training. They saw what they needed to cover up, and they crushed it.
Tyler, you've taken us through, whether it be the weight room, the training room, the whirlpool, we've seen the clubhouse, and here, a little bit of pregame routine and even maybe in-game to get warm. These batting cages, man, you see kind of the size. There's a lot of work that can be done here.
Are your legs tired?
A little bit.
I mean, like I said, it's a lot of walking, right? No, we're here in the batting cage. It's unbelievable. We're still, a little early, so we're working out some kinks. We're getting ready. But again, can't say enough good stuff. Amazing space. Hopefully, the awesome batting cage translates to homers and doubles, triples, singles on the field. And our hitting coaches being able to facilitate things for, our 1 through 9 hitter.
Yeah, I mean, you think short porch and right, well, the work done in here is how a lot of these lefties can take advantage of that.
I hope so.
Well, I'll tell you what, man, from this facility, from walking us through, to be able to see the hard work that your crew has put in and just giving us kind of an inside look at what these guys are going to enjoy this season. We so appreciate you taking the time, man.
No.
And thanks for the tour.
Of course, the real test of any clubhouse is how it lands with the players and the coaches who are moving in. And for the Rays, who will use it every day, first impressions are everything.
Thoughts on walking into this clubhouse, seeing these new digs for the first time? What's your first impression?
Yeah, this is dope, man. This is dope. There's no other way of saying it. We'll get used to it for now. But yeah, the guys seem excited about it. I'm excited about it. So I feel like we're having a good season. Feeling really comfortable.
Algo que uno tiene que aprovechar al máximo este año. La verdad es que nunca esperé esta belleza aquí adentro.
It's nice. It's really nice. It's weight room, food room, locker room, everything you could ask for.
Amazing job, and thankful for everybody that has contributed. I mean, even that turn right there on Del Mabry to see Shane and Taj, those pictures, it's pretty spectacular. And then getting in the clubhouse, what Tyler's done. I'll have a list eventually of everybody that's contributed, but I'm incredibly grateful. And you can tell the players are too. They're I think, probably a little bit overwhelmed at taking it all in, and hopefully by, I don't know, the first month we'll all have our bearings in here of where to go.
Our staff and everyone has been grinding, I bet. They all look super tired, so I know they've been grinding. I don't know if they've slept yet, so we're happy for them.
It's beautiful. It's a little different than Durham. Durham, you can't beat Durham though, but it's beautiful. Glad to be here.
The Yankees do things right, and then we were fortunate that they just remodeled everything, renovated everything. I mean, it's beautiful inside. What you guys have seen, now we're seeing for the first time completed. I've never been in a clubhouse that has pools with TVs at eye level. I mean, it's pretty remarkable.
Hasta ahora el clubhouse me ha gustado demasiado, el clubhouse. Lo que me ha encantado demasiado creo que es el gimnasio está muy maravilloso y creo que hay que aprovecharlo, de verdad, esta oportunidad aquí que me dieron, me prestaron en el estadio y todo eso, tenemos que cuidarlo y tratar de jugar tremendo béisbol. Yo creo que esta oportunidad que nos están dando aquí es para nosotros salir a jugar béisbol tranquilo y está cómodo.
They got it done pretty quick. Yeah, all the stuff, and yeah, it's top of the line, so we're excited. Everyone's excited. The gym's nice. Me and Yanni were already in there, so we were getting some bicep curls in.
Did you help him?
Yeah, I helped him. I showed him how to do it, so.
It's just very, very well put together. I mean, no excuses. We are in a very nice ballpark with great amenities, and the inside of it is going to do everything we need to keep our players on the field happy and go playing good baseball.
When we come back, we'll check in with the grounds crew and see how they're prepping the diamond for opening day. Plus, how the in-game entertainment team is adjusting now that baseball is back outdoors.
Wednesday, we look forward to welcoming the media here for an event around lunchtime, midday, to really start to show off some of the more significant elements of the transition that are taking place.
I'd like to start with a sentence I never thought I would say. Welcome to George M. Steinbrenner Field, home of the 2025 Tampa Bay Rays. Last October, playing Major League Baseball in Tampa Bay in 2025 seemed, if not impossible, highly improbable. Yet, due to the generosity, support, and hard work from our staff, our corporate partners, fans, Major League Baseball, the Tampa Sports Authority, and the Yankees organization, we are incredibly grateful to be here at this improbable moment, 2 days away from 2025 Rays opening day, right here in Tampa Bay. 2025 is a unique opportunity to see regular season Major League Baseball in one of the most intimate venues in the country. We got knocked down, but like many times before, we dusted ourselves off and we got to work. Your hard work, your dedication has put our strength and resiliency on display for the entire Tampa Bay community and indeed the entire Major League Baseball community.
Outdoor baseball is a game changer here in the Sunshine State, and that means new challenges for the entire organization, especially the grounds crew.
This is definitely unique, different from the Trop for sure. It's pretty extensive. As you can see, some sod work is going on because we had to sod cut out where their logos are, their sponsors, and also their big NY behind home plate, so we could redo that and repaint our sponsors. Yeah, this is definitely a different experience for most of my staff. So we started putting them out here about 2 months ago now, and to try and get acclimated to the field and what the outdoor conditions are like. They also have been working every spring training game for the Yankees since this started. So they're starting to get used to the field and what it takes to maintain an outdoor facility. Number one, getting used to the field. And number two is the weather, having to deal with the different weather conditions that we're going to have to go through, whether it be the heat or rain, but there are definitely going to be some challenges involved in that throughout the course of the summer. Once we've started putting our guys on the field and getting them used to it, they can kind of see if there's tweaks to be made, what they need to do. It's a little bit different clay than what they're used to at the Trop, but we can try and make it as consistent as possible to what they were used to.
One job the grounds crew will have to master here at Steinbrenner Field is something they've never had to deal with playing indoors.
There's only a couple of us on the crew that is really used to pulling a tarp or have pulled a tarp before. Me being around in my 28th season, I pulled the tarp a lot over the years at our different facilities, back in St. Pete and in Port Charlotte. But the guys here are not used to that, so they kind of have to try and really get a handle on that, and they have had to pull it twice now, I think, in spring training for the Yankees. So they've definitely been thrown into the fire. Pretty much controlled chaos. We are going to, again, kind of be taking the reins a little bit more. You know, the Yankee groundskeepers are obviously going to be helping us out, but we're going to be taking the reins a little bit more and doing more of the heavy lifting as we move on towards opening day. It's still a baseball field, but there are different conditions that can come into effect. You know, nighttime, the game's at nighttime, humidity kicks in, it can make the field wetter. You know, it'll definitely put a challenge to the baseballs, what it does to those. And it's just, yeah, there's a lot of different things that will play into what will happen over the course of the summer, and we'll deal with it.
I'll tell you what, George Steinbrenner Field looks and feels like the Rays' home, but it's going to be even more of an engaging experience with this woman we have here with us, Kat Lucas, the director of game presentation here for the Rays. And Kat, it's been so much fun to see this stadium turn over into our home ballpark. You get an opportunity to really entertain the fans, though, throughout. How has this transition been for you? How have you kind of been game planning in your mind what a typical game day is going to look like?
Yeah, it's been a lot. I mean, honestly, since that hurricane hit and we found out we were coming to Steinbrenner Field, it was just like, okay, we're outdoors. What can we do now that we're outdoors? I've been with the Rays for, I want to say, this is my 9th season, and I never thought I'd get to be able to experience the outdoors with the Rays. So this is something I've never been able to do. I'm really excited about it. We're gonna have fireworks, we're gonna have flyovers, just things that you become accustomed to at larger stadium events that we have not been able to do at Tropicana Field due to the dome. Now we're able to bring those to our fans here, and we are so excited about that.
How much were like the creative juices flowing when you found out, okay, we're gonna be outdoors for the first time ever? Like that creates a whole different dynamic for you guys.
Yeah, there was a lot. We were just thinking about all the different things we could do. I mean, we're close to the airport, so we're just thinking about all the planes that'll be going overhead. We're gonna see the beautiful Florida sunsets, which we have, and like, who doesn't love baseball underneath that Florida sky? I am so excited to see that in action.
You know, Kat, one of the things I think is really super unique, obviously, with playing outdoors and moving into the stadium is you get a chance to test out some of the new technology. And there's going to be some really key new features that Rays fans will get to experience when they come here to Steinbrenner.
Yeah, so we added in 2 new fascia boards on the first and third base side. We are using the main board that the Yankees had, but we did add those additional ones just to help bring a big league atmosphere to the game. We'll have prompts on there. There's also going to be ball strikes out, that kind of stuff on that fascia boards.
So it's really exciting to see a lot of that new technology. One of the things that we were talking about earlier was the anthem, right? And, and in the dome, you know, it would kind of echo and reverberate. How does that play into things here in terms of getting ready for those anthem singers to be outdoors this year?
Yeah, the anthem singers they're gonna have to learn to adjust a little bit. So we're gonna be having sound checks before each game so they can kind of hear themselves, because there will be a little bit of a feedback, but not as much as the dome created for us now that we're in an outdoor venue. So that is something new that we're discovering as we're going.
We mentioned fireworks, right? That was a key thing I think that fans are gonna be excited for. We're going to see it a lot, though, not just like post-game fireworks. In-game presentation, we'll have some fireworks, too, right?
Yeah, we'll have fireworks for the national anthem, home runs, and Rays victory. So we're really excited about that one.
All right,
hopefully we have a lot of fireworks this year.
I was about to say, lots of pyrotechnics, hopefully, this year for a lot of wins. So just, Kat, just in summary, what are you most excited about and the challenges that this presents and maybe the new creative ways that you can bring fans into the in-game experience here at Steinbrenner?
Yeah, Steinbrenner Field is a bit more of an intimate field than Tropicana Field is, so people are going to be closer to the action. So we're all going to have this kind of togetherness feel, and I'm really excited about that.
Well, I'll tell you what, the in-game experience is second to none, led by you and your group. So excited you spent some time with us, and I think I agree with you. I hope we get a lot of fireworks this year, because that means some good things for the Rays.
Yes, me too.
Bye-bye, Kat.
Next up, it's showtime, when we open the gates and welcome Rays fans to their new home for opening day.
Opening day is always a deadline, and so it's a familiar muscle to work, but it feels like we're lifting a lot more weight. I guess is the analogy I would use. You know, there's so much more to get done, and so much more complexity to this year's task. Again, can't say enough about our team for the way that folks have really stepped up to make this happen. So yeah, opening day is always a deadline. This year, a little more daunting than most, but we're going to pull it off. It's going to be a spectacular season. This time of year is really special. It's a period of unique stresses and unique anxieties for everyone, but I think we always try to keep our fans front and center. And something that I try to do, that I preached really to our entire organization to try to do, is to try to take some time and enjoy these moments. Fans, put their trust in us. They spend their time and energies and hard-earned money to come out and cheer us on. There's a tremendous amount of responsibility and respect we have for that. And so just to take the time and savor that and really enjoy that, for how lucky we are and how grateful we should be. I like to spend my opening day right before gates, kind of walking around the building, enjoying those last few moments of quiet when there's still some hustle and bustle last minute happening, whether it's stocking concession stands or rolling the ticket-taking machines around, but really seeing those lines and those queues of fans that are eagerly, awaiting to come on in here and experience the magic of Rays baseball. That's a really special time for me personally. That's when I try to enjoy those moments and take some time to savor it.
It looks like they've done a tremendous job with the identity aspect, covering up all the Yankees items and so forth. But I mean, it's a great atmosphere today. It's opening day. Everybody's excited.
It's going to be an interesting day here, being outside for the Rays as opposed to being inside the Trop. So we're sort of excited to see what it's going to be like. Go Rays, baby!
It's been amazing. We absolutely love it. So it's been amazing. The change has been very positive. I think people are really enjoying it.
I've been to almost all opening days in Rays history, and this is one of my favorites. I'm just super excited. Intimate, close to the players at all times. Can't wait to go to a bunch of games.
Well, I saw spring training last year here, and it's unbelievable how much they got done in such a short amount of time.
I know it's a Yankees facility, but I don't really feel like it.
Here, opening day here.
Vamos, baby, vamos!
Cameron Meisner gets into this one, a long drive deep to right. That baby's gone! Home run and the Rays win it 3-2. Cameron Meisner.
What makes this transformation so special isn't the fresh grass, the new clubhouse, or even the fancy fireworks. It's how the entire Rays organization came together to make this space in this ballpark feel like home here in 2025. Thanks for watching this edition of Rays All Access. I'm Ryan Bass. We'll see you guys next time.